É a primeira vez que eu vou jogar esse jogo, não tenho noção do que é, assim. Noção nenhuma. Parece ser bem bizarro.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Ok. Tem muita opção.
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
Tá, eu preciso acabar com ela aqui.
Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there. Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task?
Você chegou até aqui porque não ia até o fim. Porque eu não tenho... Porque eu não quero. O único motivo que tem é porque ela está
While I
trancada.
appreciate the mental exercise we are, nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess, it's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about, unless, of course, you do... Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value.
Isso é verdade. Família real é um peso. Outra pessoa não pode.
Oh, if only that were the case. I have to say, I'm surprised at you. Like I...
Tá.
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists or very, very evil people, but sure. Yes, but you'll have to slay. It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you... Are you serious?
Tá, eu acho que nessa primeira vez eu vou conversar com ela.
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her, then each... And so sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out if you make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess with... We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Gosto do herói.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden... The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Tá. Pegar o punhal.
You take the blade from the table.
Preciso me defender
It'd be
dela.
rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Oui.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
O que é isso aqui? Ah, salvar. Vamos salvar, né?
Then why did you bring a knife with you? How about you drop it, and then we can chat?
Nada disso.
She makes a compelling point. What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Look at her. It's not like don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. But killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Nada disso.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed.
No.
If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this. I'm positive. I'm not. But we'll keep our eyes peeled. If she has a weapon, she'll have to draw it before she...
Hesitating? Why don't you drop the knife and the two of us can be civilized with each other?
Nada de largar.
Then I'm not talking to you. I guess we are.
For the love of everything, just slay her already. Or drop the blade. Do something.
Yeah, I'm sure.
For goodness sake, the two of you can't just stand around like this forever. Eventually, something is going to give, and I...
Então vou matar ela.
Charge the princess, blade in hand, but unfortunately your earlier suspicions proved correct. A blade of her own slips down her sleeve and catches you in the neck. Blood sprays from the cut, your severed carotid artery painting the princess with strokes of red. You'd better finish your task quickly before you run out of time.
Morrer. Termina o serviço, né?
With the last bit of your will, you press forward, sinking the blade deep into the princess's heart.
Salvei o mundo.
Oh.
The two of you collapse on the floor together, rapidly bleeding out.
Somehow, I thought this would turn out a little differently. But I wonder, do you really think that this was enough to stop me?
Moça, tem uma faca no teu coração.
It's like she's convinced she can't die. But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
Então eu voltei.
And in the basement of that cabin, you're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. A terrible sense of deja vu. No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
This whole thing's a crock of shit. She's just going to pull a knife out of nowhere and stab us again.
Stabbed to death? Well, you won't have to worry about that. The princess is unarmed.
Yeah, that's exactly what you told us last time, when we asked you if you were sure she did, but it turns out she did, because when we charged her, she started stabbing us.
Calm down. I assure you she has no weapons, so there's no reason to fear her. You were made for this job. You'll do... It hasn't. Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. Those are two very different questions, but let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened. We did exactly what you said. Sounds to me like you probably had some kind of elaborate nightmare. In which, but congratulations, you've been given a chance to... And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around... What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We stabbed the princess stabbed us, and now everyone's right back to where they started. That sounds pretty Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? Had you failed to slay the princess, what would have happened to everyone in the place you left?
Screw this. Who cares what happened to everyone else? She's not going to play fair, so we should do what we can to save us.
At least you know not to trust her, but you do realize that everything and everyone includes you, right? If you turn around... She just caught us by surprise last time. She can't do that twice. So long as we're careful, we can win this. That's the spirit. Just keep that stiff upper. Just be quick about it. She just can, but she's still only a princess. You're fully up to the task you've been given. Like I said, if she killed you, it was probably because you didn't listen to me. Don't talk to her.
Oh, and don't get stabbed while you're at it.
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in... Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of course you're special.
Why, if anyone's special here, it's her. That was a nasty trick she pulled.
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail...
You didn't tell us about her knife.
That's because she's unarmed. And more than that, it's because there wasn't a last... Great.
Okay. Bora pra cabana.
A warning. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything.
He couldn't be more on the money. But we're really doing this, aren't we?
I'd say we know what to look out for this time. Just stay focused. The interior of the cabin is a jagged mess of warped wood and broken boards, their splintered edges as uninviting as shattered glass. The blade is your implement.
Tá mais bizarro.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's definite... There isn't.
Can you two stop arguing? It's stressful enough in here without all of this...
I care less about that and more about whether we're being lied to. If he's willing to lie about something as innocuous as a mirror, what else is he hiding? I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless?
Que eu tô vendo.
What good? You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's all... This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look. It was there a second ago.
Now it's gone. Yet another thing in here playing tricks on us. I hate this place.
Very different. Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't, so focus up. You take the blade from the table. It feels a bit better to have a weapon in our hands. Let's make it.
Bora, agora a gente mata ela.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing the air seeping up from below has an almost metallic...
That's right, scraping. I told you she has.
That sound could be anything. It's probably just her chains dragging across the floor. Her grating voice carries up the
I hope you've come to rescue me. I've been stuck down here forever.
There is something so wrong.
Yeah, she thinks she's better than us, like she doesn't even have to put on an act this time.
As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view, her sharp eye. I wonder if she remembers us.
Finally, somebody! Quick, get me out of these chains. We're not safe here.
Come on now, we're not falling for that, are we? She's trying to trick us, but she can't hide that threatening edge to her voice. She just wants us to get close, to let...
If she sounds threatening, it's because her mask is already slipping. She knows why you're here. You are armed.
What are you waiting for? You are here to rescue me, right?
No.
Last time, if somebody came into my house and tried to kill me and I cut his neck open and then he stabbed me in the heart and we both died looking in each other's eyes, well, surely I would remember it. But I don't remember it, so it must...
There you go again, talking up delusions about a...
Ugh, it's like the two of you are working together on this. Aren't you listening to her? She's...
I'm terrible at spotting lies, and even I can tell something's up here. We can't be the only ones that looped back to the start. Yes, something is obviously up, and we can all tell that she's lying. The thing she's lying about is how dangerous she is, not dimension hopping or time travel.
What? No! No! I wouldn't stab you. I am just a sweet, innocent princess, and you are a brave knight who's supposed to walk up to...
I have absolutely zero doubts that she is going to stab us if we...
She certainly feels threat. Just because she's acting like she's going to stab you doesn't mean she has... But you know who is armed?
You. So stop second guessing.
But I'm nervous. All the more reason to jump into the deep end and deal with her right now before you waste any more...
Would I just lie? Would I just lie to your face and tell you a thing I remembered happening? I mean, just so I could stab you for the first time.
Aha! She slipped up there. She said again, and her taking it...
Do you hear how deranged you sound right now? Please stop dawdling. This is only going to end with violence. Postponing the inevitable...
A knife? What are you talking about? And why would I stab you to death? I don't know you. You haven't given me a reason to...
Okay, I could have sworn we didn't mention stabbing anyone to death. Sounds like she's really out for blood. Fortunately...
Ela tá armada.
It would be so much easier to prove that I do have a sharp object. I could just show it to you.
The princess smiles as she pulls her hands from behind her back.
But look at this! Hands! Hands that don't have anything in them to stab you with!
Her smile stretches into an even wider...
And empty sleeves, too! Look at how few stabbing implements I have. It's practically zero. Oh, you don't? Okay, I have an idea. You should come over here and stare directly at the chains. You won't be able to find a key if you don't know.
How many more times does she have to We're clearly still figuring out our angle. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you think I'm in a position of... You're acting like you are.
My entire... And maybe you should behave with a little more humility. No. Fine. And we'll continue to treat you...
I've shown you all of my hiding spots. What kind of princess do you think I am? Wait, That sounds like I'm lying, but I'm actually not. My secret zones are for me only. They have nothing to do with you or my intention to not stab you to death the second you get close to me.
Her smile drops for a moment, her expression sharp and
I assure you, there's nothing hidden there.
I'm inclined to believe her on that one. She seems... Of course, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't have something hidden.
That's so rude of you. Passing judge. Silly little bird face thinks he's so serious coming down here but doesn't know anything. Thinks he could tell me to get rid of all the I bet you didn't like that, did you? I bet you didn't like being judged.
I think I've said my piece at this point. I think we all have. But if you want to keep exhausting your questions, it beats...
But we don't have anything to talk through. We're strangers and this place is cramped and annoying and you should... Okay, I'm bored now.
She's bored? That's absurd. She doesn't get to be bored.
Pois
Not in a way that matters. Shit. In a sudden burst of movement, the princess leaps towards you, a blade erupting from her free arm, her wrist limp and empty from the violent expulsion. Huh. So I guess she did have a knife of her own after all. How conciliatory of you. We appreciate it, really. At least we're safe here. She's still in chains, and those chains stop her from continuing her advance, at least for a moment. She looks down at them with something between annoyance and confusion, then she slices through her arm.
Tá, agora acho que fodeu.
Okay, maybe we aren't safe here. She doesn't even hesitate before darting towards you with a terrifying speed you can't hook. Ah, shit. Okay, she's down an arm and we still have a weapon. I guess we'll have to use it. And use it you do. But unfortunately for you and for the entire world, you are horribly outmatched. You keep pace with her for a single brief and wordless exchange before she severs your hand and, with it, your only line of defense. She's even better at this than she was last time. Bloody cheater.
Coisa doentia.
I'm going to kill you now.
Tá bom.
With a squelch, she does just that. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods. No, fuck that. If we're gonna have to keep doing this over and over and over again, we're not starting in that goddamn woods ever. What? I feel dizzy. Oh ho ho ho! I guess I took us to the cabin, didn't I? Isn't that interesting? The circle's getting smaller and smaller. Running isn't an option anymore. What's the point of fighting if she's just going to win every time? It hurts being sliced to pieces. Great, so obviously you've already been here. How many times? This is our third? No wonder things have fallen apart. You do realise that every time you fail, she escapes and an entire world is damned to destruction, right? That can't be right, that's too much responsibility. I couldn't agree more. We couldn't be trusted with the fate of a single person. Let's just stay focused. The only furniture of note is a bent metal table. A pristine blade perched. We take it. Okay, sure, you take the blade before letting me finish telling you it's there. It would be difficult to slay the prince. This feels right. We just have to keep our sense. That's right, we've got to be able to win eventually. And what if we never... So? Are you just going to stand there? Or I'd love to get started just as much as you would, but how? You walk through the door. You do know what doors are. There isn't a door, it's just that mirror again. There isn't a mirror. You really messed things up, didn't you? It's like you can't even see reality anymore. I can feel the air coming up from behind it, stinking of iron and steel. He might be right. Could be a trick. If our other senses can't feel it, then... You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You really must think you're looking at a mirror. Well, it doesn't exist. Let's just move it out of the way without looking. I don't want to see us, I'm sure. Let's just fumble for the handle and be done with it. I don't care what we look like. You reach forward and place your hand on the door to the basement. It creaks open. And the mirror's gone. Ah, surprise. It was never there. Just an illusion. Guess it's time for us to see her. Just stay focused and you'll be fine. You step forward, but you don't get a chance to linger on the basement stairs. They are smooth and flat and metallic,
An unintentional and Your body tumbles onto the basement floor and the form of the princess comes into view.
Hi, it looks like you don't have a way out, so I'm not going to play dumb anymore. But don't worry about how bad you did last time. That's part of the fun.
Fun for her, maybe. I didn't like dying or...
Thinking about dying makes us as good as dead. The actually does survival matter? We've died twice and nothing bad has come of it. We just need to find a way.
Nothing bad has come of it.
Yet. Plenty bad has come of it. You've left at least one entire world to ruin. The past isn't real. There's only here. Your internal bickering is cut short by the wet sound of slicing meat. From the princess's arms erupt twin blades, glistening with her blood, the empty flesh of her arms flopping at her elbows like tawns. She's loose, and she is coming for you.
You're going to make me walk over to you, aren't you?
Sim. Quer que eu vá até perto de ti pra tu me esfaquear?
Shit. She's coming for us and I'm out of ideas.
Tá, joga a faca nela, fazer alguma coisa. Flertar com ela. Tá, vamos pra cima dela. Vamos se matar junto.
I guess we have a weapon. Okay, I'm in. Let's do this.
She's going to kill us.
Well,
Provavelmente.
if we die, right? Then we can try.
Bad idea. But it's not like any of you listen to me.
Ela acha que ela vai me retalhar. Então,
Yeah, no more moping. We're going blade poised to strike you. Charge the princess.
Oh, so you do want to fight, huh? Okay. Yes, I love this. Try to stab me. Try to stab me and see what happens.
Here goes. We can make this work. Yes, if we pay attention.
And what if we don't?
You and the princess exchange a flurry of blows, and you manage to narrowly avoid death several times. Finally,
maldita,
you see
cara.
it. An opening.
Dale.
It's a trick. Don't take it. No, screw that. Ours. Ours. I called it. It's ours, and we're taking it. And you do take it. But as you close in, yet another blade erupts from the princess. A trick. I knew it. I told you to be careful. What? From where? From her knee, apparently.
Nossa.
Oh, too slow.
Oh, that's bullshit. Unfortunately, for the sake of the world, fair doesn't factor into this. Another of her blades comes slicing up to finish the job. Ow.
Dolorido.
Ribbons! I'm going to make you ribbons. This is so much fun and I want to celebrate.
It would have worked if we just stabbed her harder. Oh, a new one of us. I thought that only happens when we die. We're on her. No, you're in her. Where the hell are you?
I think we're dead. And that's all we'll ever be.
Stop saying dead, all of you. We might have died a second ago, but right now this is all horribly wrong. How many times have you been here?
This is 4.
No wonder everything's such a mess. This wasn't supposed to go past 1.
I wonder what you're going to do next. You're so full of ideas and I love that.
But I guess we don't have time to talk about things before the princess. Okay, whatever we do gets us another us. Let's see how many we can stack. We don't need any other voices chattering about in here. It'll just confuse us. Yeah, I'll pass on as long as we keep moving.
Oh, great. So it's going to get even more...
Come on, show me something new.
Segunda opção, então.
Let's appeal to her better nature. We haven't tried that. She skewers you. Well, there's more of us. Let's sit back and then you skewer yourself.
I thought we both understood that dying doesn't get you anywhere.
Huh, that didn't do much of anything. We're tougher than a compliment her on those gleaming blades. There's nothing better than a capable... She skewers you.
You're cute.
It doesn't matter how many times this takes. Okay, let's go again. Just panic. Flee. She skewers you.
No, you don't get to escape. That's...
See? We're getting better. Okay, yeah. She's going to kill this body either way. So she skewers you.
Ooh, not...
We're getting close to something, can't you feel it? You're right. One last time, that's all. None of this is work. She skewers you. And then everything goes dark, and you die.
Cara, que doentio.
You're on a... Don't lose your head. We're in a cabin.
Mas eu quero ver o que vai acontecer depois. Aqui dá pra ver o histórico. Cara, what the fuck, mano. Tô perturbado. Depois eu continuo.